Hey guys, Josh Carter here with OneObjective. In today's video, we're going to be talking about shaky head fishing, so stay tuned. Hey guys, like I said before, we're going to be going over shaky head fishing. This is a technique that I think you should have tied on all year long. It's very versatile. You can go from creature baits to worms. You can fish deep, shallow, lakes, rivers. It's just a very versatile technique, and guys have won a lot of money off of this finesse style bait. So but like I say, it's a bait that it's a great cleanup bait. It's a great panic bait. You know, if you need that extra bite, the shaky head is a good bait to get you that extra bite if you need to fill out a limit or upgrade. I mean, there's days where shaky head outdoes all the other baits, you know, and there's days that it don't do well at all. You're lucky to get a dink bite, but 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get a bite off a shaky head. It might not be the one you want, but you're gonna get a bite. So anyways, let's dig into my setup and what baits I like to throw. All right guys, like I said earlier, this technique is very versatile. So these are just some worms that I like to throw on the shaky head, but it's also great with crawls. It's also great with creature baits. It's also great with big, like 9-10 inch worms. You know, if you go to a little bit bigger head, you're fishing ledges and stuff like that in deep water, you can fish everything with this. And you know, I like fishing this with a spinner reel, which I'll get to that in a little bit, but this is also something you can go to a heavier setup with bait casters. I've seen guys throw, you know, big worms on a shaky head on bait casters. I've seen them throw some of these trick worms and stuff like that on a bait caster. So it's a very versatile technique. You can make it work for however you like to fish and what way you fish, you know. So but like I say, I'm going to go over these worms right here and when and why I like throwing. Now this right here is more, I'll throw this especially this color right here by Missile Baits on the quiver. I throw this more during the summertime, this color here. Once I start getting into fall, and sometimes in the summertime too, I'll throw like the green pumpkin colors, just because they are chasing crawfish. They're also chasing bait fish. It's a good, green pumpkin is a good versatile color. Also another good color that I've kind of gotten away with, I don't throw as much as I used to for some reason, but it's like a watermelon seed. Watermelon seed is really good, especially around Smith and all that. So but my main go-to worms here that I normally stick with is my Zoom finesse worm and my Zoom trick worm. It's not a lot of big difference there, as you can see, lengthwise, but just having that little extra tail off the end gives it a little more action. It's a little bit bigger bait, so you know, it kind of gets the bigger bass's attention. You will still catch 10, 9-inch, 8-inch fish off of it, sometimes perch. It's amazing that you know, their eyes are bigger than their belly apparently. So but anyways, this is my main go-to setup when I'm throwing a shaky head. This is, you know, I can fish this in a river, I can fish it wherever, you know. It's just a great setup. Now when I'm on a river, I change up different colors, but like I say, most of the time, any color I have of all these worms, I'm going to have green pumpkin. That's my main go-to worm. Anywhere in the country, you can catch fish off a green pumpkin. So like I say, always make sure, no matter what you get out of these worms, if you get any of them, always have green pumpkin. Best color on the market, in my opinion. And then this is also another one I like to use. This is the Magnum finesse worm. So as you can see, about the same profile, I mean lengthwise, but it's got a little bit thicker profile. You know, you want to get that little bit bigger bite, or hoping maybe that'll help get that little bit bigger bite. The Zoom finesse worm has got that great profile. Look, like I say, a little bit bigger. Like I say, this bait I've also talked about too. You can wacky rig and all that stuff. So this is another good versatile bait to have in your box for, like I say, shaky head, wacky rigging, Nico rigging, all of that. Also this bait here, the quiver by Missile Baits. When you rig this up on a shaky head, you want to talk about some action this tail puts off when it's coming over a ledge, when you're popping it over a tree. It's got that great bait fish profile with the tail kind of just doing that, especially when you're kind of swimming it back. You know, you're swimming back, sometimes that helps get another reaction bite that you might not have got if you was just working it, you know, just all the way to on the bottom back to the boat. So This is another great versatile bait on a shaky head, because like I say, you throw it out there, you're reeling it back in. I've had a lot of hits just reeling it back in. But like I say, this is a bait that can be fished all year long, from spring to summer, and that's all these baits here. I mean, from spring, summer, winter, you know, I mean, you name it, you can fish a shaky head all year long. I've caught them with shaky heads fishing when water temperature is down in the low 40s and air temperature is 20s, you know. I mean, it's just, I've always got one of these tied home. Now, when it comes to the type of shaky head I throw, I mainly just throw a football head. That's pretty much all I mainly throw. It don't get hung up as bad. Now, when it comes to skipping, your ball heads, they're going to skip a little bit better than a football head. But once you figure out how to skip and all that and get better at skipping, these ain't so bad. But this right here is a quarter. This right here is unpainted, and most of the time, I didn't have no more quarters to show you, but most of the time, all of my heads are going to be black or green pumpkin. That's the only two colors I go with. I don't try all these other crazy colors like orange, and it might work for people. I just don't do it. I try to keep all my selections pretty simple when it comes to my finesse baits and all that, because if not, I got to keep more inventory in my box. So black, green pumpkin. My next size I throw is just a 1/8 ounce. I feel like an 1/8 ounce is the perfect size all around. You know, if I'm fishing shallow, if I'm fishing up to about 10 or 15 foot, once I get over that depth, I'll kind of go in back to my quarter. The quarter is great too if you're fishing a river and a lot of heavy current, and you want to get like a crawl down there. You want to get your worm down there real quick before the current kind of takes off your bait. The quarter is really good, but most of the time I'm using an 1/8 ounce shaky head. Now these shaky heads are the ones I make. We're looking at having them up on our website here. Hopefully by the end of the year here, we want to get some baits up on our website, OneObjectiveBF.com. Now rigging, I'm just using, like I've said in some of my other finesse videos, I'm just using 8-pound Invisi-X tied with a FG knot to the Smackdown, Seaguar Smackdown. This is 10-pound braid. It is very, very thin braid. I love this braid. It's bright enough so if you're fishing anything like flick shakes or drop shots or wacky rigs, all that stuff where you really got to be watching your line, you can see it great. You know, whether it's dirty water, whether it's clear water, that line shines when you get into situations like that where you got to really be watching your line. You're not going so much by feel. What I'm rigging it on is just my my Falcon finesse jig rod. It's a great rod for horsing them out of structure. You also got that soft enough tip you can make long casts with very light baits. It's a great rod. I love it. When we're talking, you know, being versatile, it's a great versatile rod. You know, with shaky heads, swim baits, like those swim baits, stuff like this on it. There's so much that I throw on that Falcon finesse jig rod that it's just unbelievable. I love that rod. I got several of them, and I got all kinds of different baits rigged up on them during the tournament. So and then that's just a regular Cardinal spinning reel. I'm a tightwad when it comes to spinning reels. I don't spend a lot of money on them. I know some guys that love drop shot and say it's worth the money getting a good rod with a good reel with good drag. I'm just tightwad. I've done really well with those cheaper reels, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But that's just a Cardinal 40. Love it. The drag system's on it's really good. Never had no real issues with losing fish because of, you know, not enough drag or too much drag or whatever. So, but anyways, guys, that's my setup for the shaky head. It's very simple. It's nothing crazy to it. It's nothing that, you know, you need to have a lot of baits for. I mean, like say you get away with a green pumpkin, you get away with a watermelon seed, and if you want something like a black and blue worm or something like that, that's perfect for finesse fishing, and you don't have to have a lot of different baits for it. But like I was saying earlier, it's very versatile, so you can throw pretty much anything soft plastic you got in your tackle box on a shaky head. I mean, it's so simple. I mean, I use this bait a lot when I'm letting the kids fish. I'll let them use a shaky head, and I'll let them use a drop shot. It's a great bait to get them started, getting the feel, you know, on what to feel for, and you don't really have to lay into it setting the hook. Fish a lot of times will set the hook for you, so it's just a great all-around bait for everything. So like I say, guys, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share with your friends, and we'll have some more fishing tips coming here soon, so stay tuned. Thanks. Bye.